Good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum. Before we kick off our today's event, I would like to share some background and main objectives.
And Assalamu alaikum. Before we kick off our today's event,
iPIP, Irish Pakistani ICT Professionals. An open access platform for present and future Irish Pakistani ICT professionals. Professional and social networking. Information and training seminars. Career guidance events. Upskilling sessions. Community get-togethers. Irish Pakistani ICT professionals. Join us, guide us, contribute and play your role in this community building project. iPIP, Irish Pakistani ICT professionals.
Thank you very much. Today we are going to talk startup. We had a very successful last webinar where we talk about research and development. We identified there are loads of opportunities where we can get a funding from peers, from our research organizations, from the government organizations, even some private organizations. Now, this is a time we have around 1 week or maybe a 2 week where we are revamping ourselves. We are thinking what we can do. We are settling our 2021 goals. So let's think, let's learn something from our great panelists. They had a big success stories. They had a good learnings. How we can think. If I'm just thinking startup, what are the motives? Before that, I would like to introduce our panelist. The first panelist is Mustafa Shaja. Mustafa has 15 plus years experience in IT industry. Mustafa works in telecom and health services sector. Mustafa area of expertise in big data, business analyst, and report development. Mustafa also involved in different IT and financial sector startups. So let's welcome Mustafa Shaja. Our second panelist is Anwar Mulk. Anwar is leading Arup Technologies Limited to transform software technology to bring innovation to e-commerce and education sectors. Anwar studied entrepreneurship and innovation, enterprise from UCD, University College Dublin, Ireland. Anwar also accomplished an entrepreneur certificate from University of Pennsylvania. This value into has his entrepreneur sector in terms of developing opportunity, launching a startup, growth strategies, and financing and profitability. Anwar has been awarded All Ireland All-Star Thought Leader in e-commerce and IT enablement by All Ireland Business Foundation. Let's welcome Anwar Mulk. Our third panelist is Bilal Ewan. Bilal is a multi-award winning tech entrepreneur who believes in giving back to community and those to work in these sectors. Bilal has worked in IT industry for the last 20 plus years. Bilal has been awarded 3 times All Ireland All-Star Thought Leader in IT security, and best in class use of technology in psychology, as he is the founder of tech startup. On many occasions, Bilal has been appeared in international stages talking about his entrepreneur journey and being a role model for young entrepreneurs. In recognition of Bilal's contribution towards tech industry in 2014, Bilal was nominated as top 20 tech young entrepreneurs by Web Summit. In 2018, Bilal was one of the tech startup, won the best startup in the year in Dublin. In 2019, his medtech startup won the best startup in year in Zagreb, Croatia, among many other startups from across Europe. In 2019, Bilal was also awarded as top 50 tech visionaries by Intercon conference in Dubai. Furthermore, Bilal also won silver award during International Business Awards, competition held amongst businesses across the world. So let's welcome to all our panelists, and I would like to hand over our podium to Anwar Mulk. He is going to share some slides and some motivation to IPIP community. Over to you, Anwar Mulk.
Thank you. Assalamu alaikum. Thanks for having me on your panelist. Right. So, as already said, Anwar Malik, I'm leading Arup Technologies, a software company in Dublin. I am accredited thought leader in e-commerce and IT enablement by All Ireland Business Foundation. So today's journey is I will be talking about the entrepreneurship, and the first question will come is like, what is the entrepreneurship? Now, many of us living in Ireland are belongs to IT and like business sectors, and entrepreneurship is not something like difficult part in our life, but we can learn a lot of things from the market. All right, so a very quick introduction of the entrepreneurship or entrepreneur. What is this thing is like, it's developing the opportunity. That is the main thing. Like, you develop the opportunity, then you take some risk, and then you provide some solutions. It could be the new product, it could be the new way of doing the business. We don't have to like invent something. We don't need to reinvent some wheels. We already have products in market. We can do a new way of doing business. It could be a new company like a startup, or it could be in existing organizations. Right. Now, this is the question from audience. Like in COVID-19, we did see lockdowns. Now we are again in lockdown for last 2 days, and then for next 3 weeks time we are in lockdown. Do you see it as a problem? And of course, yes, it was a problem. And for me, I do not say it was a problem, I say it was some opportunities. Now, this is the first thing I said, like the introduction of an entrepreneur is, we develop the opportunities. We look into into the problems, and then we develop the opportunities. Okay, so my journey starts with the creative thinking. I have seen problems, and now I'm thinking, what can I do? What are my problems? Where do I see the problems? So now my creative thinking starts. Right. Now, what I will do, the first thing I will do is I will identify the problems. Now, this is what I want you guys to do in your lives as well. Wherever you are, whatever you are doing, identify the problems. I mentioned here, see the problem as an opportunity. Becoming a creative thinker and a problem solver, it is much needed in our new normal. What is our new normal? I gave you a quick example, and I'll go back to my slides. Now, for example, I go to Tesco for shopping. My problem starts from my home. I have to take a mask with me. Without mask, I cannot enter. When I go to Tesco, I see long queues. Now, this is my second problem because I have to stand in the queue. Now, this is my second problem. Third problem, I have to keep my distance, 2 meter distance. Then I have to sanitize my trolley. When I enter in the store, I have to sanitize my hands. When I in the shop there, again, I maintain the distance. And then for some reason, when I see some products, they are not available because there were less quantity in the market, or I had quota, I could not take more than 2 or 3 or 4. So these were the problems I have seen. Now I have to find, identify the opportunities in those problems there. Mask is an industry, so I see that I can start a business selling mask. Okay, when I go to queue, oh, I can set up something. I'm an IT person. I can set up something, a queue system which will help people to stand like less time in standing in the queue. Or maybe I can start some e-commerce business, or maybe I can do this thing. So maybe I can import tons of hand sanitizer from Alibaba and sell in Ireland. So these are the things, when we see the problems, we come up with opportunities. Right. So these are creative thinkings. You come up with the things like how you can solve some problems. You talk to people, you look the problem, you go into the problem, and then you come back with some solutions. Right. So the idea generation is like I was talking. So when I know the problems, and I need to ignite the curiosity. Okay, how can I solve? I don't want to stand in the queue for 2 hours or 1 hour, 10 minutes, whatever time it is there. I want to find some solutions. There are 200 homes around in my estate. Can I develop an e-commerce system and I only deliver in this area? And I can tell them, okay, look, I have some business solution for you guys. Can I help you? Can you help me? Okay, we are in the business. So this all depends, like when you have some great uh, analysis with you and the 4 questions with you. First question is that you see the lot of problems. What you want to do? What is your solution? Like, visualize yourself, you are at point A and at point B, what you want to do from when you go from A to B. What solutions you have, for who you have this solution. You cannot say I can solve every single thing. I cannot have a shop where I can sell every single things. No, I cannot. I have to have a niche market. I cannot sell to every single person. So this is the question, that who I want to serve, where I want to go. Can I go in whole Ireland? This is the question. Or should I go in a small village, small town, or a big city? This is the question. Now, how do I go there? I have solutions. I know my dream customers. How I approach to them? Now, these are the questions. How this will happen when we have a proper market research. So, with every question, what I go to market. So, I have that solution. I look in the market. How many companies are selling the same solution? Who they are selling. This is my market research. Where they are selling. For example, I give you 2 examples here now. Like COVID give you a lot of opportunities. Just a Deliveroo, Uber Eats, they are in Dublin, very busy in Dublin. They have their cycle riders, but they are I live in Lucan. They are not in Lucan. I don't see any of the rider because they did not see a big market in Lucan. They see in the Dublin city center. They are not in Wexford. They are not in the small areas of Ireland, because they knew their market is in Dublin city center, where they have a good competition. They can beat their competition. So they stick with a small market and making good money. So this is their strategies. Well, they will go in outside of the areas once they have more market built for them. All right. So we also know there is a restaurant called Camel Thai. Now recently they have launched they come to your house, they make your house a commercial kitchen, and they give you their recipes. You sell their food from your house. You don't need to have a restaurant. So now this is a new business idea they started, and they are launching very well. So I need to work on market research as well. I need to find out my competitors, what solutions, a lot of things involved in there. Now, keeping time in mind as well, this is the question now. Most of us, when we have some solutions, we have some ideas, we come up with one thing: funding. Oh, I don't have money. No money. This is another problem. Just started. And before I answer anything, let me go back to my previous slide where I say the problems. And I see the problems. Now, my problem is I do not have money. What I should do? Okay. Most of us, we are IT in this group. And I can give you a business idea. I can give you a solution right now. And you will be able to start a business right now. To start an IT business, what do we need? We have the knowledge of IT. We are software developers. We can develop some software. We need a computer. We already have in our computer in our home. We need an office. We have a room in our home. Everybody is working from home. What else we need? Internet. We already have it there. So we have all the resources to start a business. So if you are able to find out some tech solution right now, you have the ideas with you. You have the resources with you. You have everything with you. and you can start it. So there is no question of funding. Oh, I don't have money with me. So once we have started the business, we can have crowdfunding. We can talk to our customers, we can talk to friends and families, we can start some online crowdfunding. We have money. So I don't want you to stuck with, oh, I don't have money, I cannot start it. Start something. That's it from my side, and I leave the podium now back to the Edwin.
Thank you, Anwar.
You're welcome.
Um, Bilal, can you just tell us about what is basically innovation is and where we need to start thinking about these things?
Thank you, Mustafa. Can everybody hear me, first of all? Okay. Innovation is doing anything which is not done in that particular way before. Finding a different way of doing the same thing, which will make the end result to appear much quicker and make people's life easy with less struggle to achieve it, is an innovation. Innovation is not a meaning of a technology or a standard. Innovation is thinking beyond anybody else might have thought before. Does this answer? I think there is a second part of
Yes,
the question. Can you repeat,
where we
Mustafa,
need
please?
to start thinking about the ideas, like where do we have to start about how do we need to think about these innovations or the business startups?
You need to put yourself in that shoes. If you have a problem and you start looking into a solution, and if that makes your life easy, you are amongst 7 or 8 billion people in this world. Surely other people would have the similar situation. If you can make your life easy, you can make their life easy. That's how you start thinking, that how would you make it easily accessible and make life easy for people. That's how you start. You don't have to go to the academy. Yes, you do need an academy in your lifetime, but to start an idea, to start an innovation, you don't need a certificate to think an alternate way to a traditional solution.
Very good. Thank you very much, Bilal. I I just have one question. Is I have an idea, and I'm not sure like how long I should spend the time to validate my idea. So I would like to ask this question to Anwar. How much time I should spend just to validate my idea? Just stay on the loop rest of the life, or I should limit my time? What are your thoughts?
I would say the fastest and the cheapest way to validate my idea. Now we have some idea, and I know my dream customers. So I will pick my 10 customers. I'll go to them. I'll find with them. I'll discuss with them, and I'll say, okay, if I am like removing the pain, they have it, and they are happy with it. So I say I have validated my idea. I would not wait for a long time. I would not spend a lot of money. So whatever is the cheapest and fastest way, I will adopt that. Thank you.
Mustafa, you wanna top up?
Yeah, in order to validate your idea, like there are different things. First of all, you have to think like, is your idea like how much time you need to spend on your ideas? But the main thing is in the business, some ideas are non-ending, like it take long than what you're thinking, and sometimes it's an ongoing process. Because if you have an idea, you build some product, might be you need some modification or anything, you need to change it, and then it will go further again. So your ideas never finish, it's just improving again and again. So it's not taking, say there's a time limit in the validating your idea, but the thing is, you go in the market, you test it, you think, oh, that thing doesn't work, you just modify or just make some changes in your idea and then go again. So that's the thing, it is an ongoing process, and it's just a start of it, and then you have to be keep going under the same way, and you have to validate, and then you have to make changes, go again and again to get the best business model, or you get the output of what you think you need to get from there.
Thank you very much, Mustafa. Uh, I was listening one of the TED talk, and they just talk very interestingly. Uh, Almost everyone in this world, from the age of 40 to 50, they get in average a 5 to 15 ideas per year. It could be very small improvement of house, just that window, if it can be on that side, that will be better. Or if I will put my booking shelf in this way, or if that business is very good and they have something in their mind, and sometimes they get motivated, sometimes they get simple lazy. So I would like to ask this question to Anwar: what is the right time to start?
Right. Uh, Talking about the ideas, yeah. I had this idea 10 years ago. I have this idea tomorrow. Oh, I had a great idea. Oh, he had a great idea. Oh, if I had that thing, I could do it. So these are the some excuses I will have or someone will have in their mind. Oh, I could do that one. Okay, now COVID-19 gave us a lot of opportunities. There are three words in entrepreneur journey is think big, start small, learn fast. So that is
Yeah,
things. So you have some big thing in mind. I want to do it. Start small. Okay, start it. Learn fast. If you're not fast learner, you can spend 10 years in doing same thing, same thing, same thing. You get the same results. So I mean, I would say whatever you have there, start it today. Today is the right time. That's my answer. Thank you.
very good.
I have a question here for you, Nawaz. Actually,
Mhm.
we all get busy in our day-to-day lifestyle and work life. In between all of this chaos, how one can motivate themselves to start a business?
It's very interesting. We all are working here in Ireland from the last 15 plus years. We had some sort of the taste in Ireland, and but we know a lot of friends in our community, in back home, our friend circles. They are touching every year something new. What are the driving forces? It's it's some guys, they just like woke up and they say loudly at the breakfast to their kids and wife, I'm going to start this thing. And some guys, they always keep talking in their friend circles, but they never start. Why? Because they are busy. They are working 9 to 5 and they don't have time. So they have idea, they don't have time. And I will say that in 2010, that's the first time I started thinking something different. And then I start sitting with those guys who has been involved in businesses. And what I found it, when you are sitting with your friends and you always keep thinking, is there any chance I can make an impact in the current working environment? Or you see any automation opportunity, and is there opportunity for you can add a value. So when you start thinking, when you start be curious, so this is the first step. You are motivating yourself. So you need to be very curious. Is there any improvement in this process? So don't stay away on any issue you see. Just start thinking, if I will be on this shoes, how I can improve it. And that's the first step. You identify a gap. When you identify a gap, you start thinking, oh, there is an opportunity for me. So one option could be you start learning something new. Dragon dance, TED Talks, just follow a big business bees, and you will get motivated. Read some biographies, and you will see that how these guys start thinking. What are their life cycles? They are like us, and you can stay something. Always think: is there any innovation I can add? This is a mindset. It's not some guys are saying that I by birth I am innovative, but some guys they learn innovations. And I will say that is everyone born, I think, with the same qualities, and this is our environment who teach us. Some guys they are learning in a good institute, good friendships, maybe in good family, and they learn business from there. So always find innovations in your surroundings. working with great people. Just jump with a great community. Don't waste time sitting with the time wasters. Or even if you're sitting with the time wasters, just try to grab an opportunity. Is there anything if I will be sitting in the podium, what I can improve? Try to do continuous improvement. Always be flexible. Don't be rigid on your ideas. If someone is saying this thing can be moved or can be done in this way, try to motivate and try to be flexible, adopt it, and share knowledge with others. This is another very good example. When you talk with other community people, with your friends, they actually clarify a loads of things what you might be thinking wrong or right. And the most important, always have a great work environment. Sit on a comfortable chair, sit on a comfortable room where you can have a couple of minutes for yourself. You can think differently. So, in a nutshell, I will say is a path you have to create, you have to think, you have to innovate yourself, and you have to be curious all the time. And you will end up to an innovative idea. You will end up to find, identify a gap in the market, and then you will be going like the other guys riding that ladder. I hope I was able to give you some insights. Thank you, Bilal.
Can I just add one small thing, how to keep yourself
Yeah,
motivated? You must have a hobby and you must follow it,
yeah.
because hobby gives you freedom of mind where you are with yourself. So just wanted to add this thing in addition to your valuable feedback.
Thank you very much, guys. This is a webinar. This is a fireside chat. This is not a presentation. So we are talking based on our experiences, based on our exposures. And the whole point, what we are trying to motivate ourselves first. We are trying to motivate our IPIP community, and we are trying to add a value to our lives and the community life. I was sitting with one of the friend, and he actually just said very interestingly. He said that this is not always important. You have to think something new. If something is not like if an idea which is working very good in Pakistan or in another country, if I will import that idea to Ireland, or Ireland doesn't have that product, is this is a startup? So I would like to ask this question to Mustafa: Is should we think in that directions, or we always think about the basic definition of startup?
Thank you, Noah. The main thing is like in that case, if there's idea is already available in the market, like this is already tested and fully deployed in somewhere in the market, yes, you can import this in somewhere you find a gap. Suppose in Ireland is something you think that idea is validated or already some products are available in different countries. Yes, you can do it in Ireland, but to make sure that product is built for that particular environment. So you have to do some research, you have to do some thinking about it, that
Mhm.
if you want to import or you want to bring this idea in this market, is that fully fit in this market or not? In that case, you have to make some amendment, you have to make some changes, or you have to see how much this has, what's the dimension of that services it can be fit in this culture or this environment. You can do it, yes, but in still in that case you have to go through all the same processes which you have to build, starting like thinking, you have to make some business models, you have to do some research, then you can do these things. But these are the good things, you can do it as well in anywhere in this world, or in Ireland, or anywhere you want to do. The best example you can see, there are many franchises, because the some franchises are already done some business in somewhere in the world and they are successfully. That's why you can import, or you can say, okay, I want to open that franchise, so that franchise let you to do business in this environment, because they already tested everything in their some environment, so you can do it quickly. That is a good thing, you can do it.
Very good. I actually want to ask the same question and Warmulk. He is working in e-commerce. E-commerce is walking around in all over the place. and how you motivate yourself and you identified a gap in e-commerce is existing idea and you turned into a startup. So what you did?
Uh, yeah, uh, going back to the initial questions as well, two things here. One is the innovation and one is the entrepreneurship, and that's what we're talking here. The innovation is I have pen in my hand, I do some different use of this pen, I do something with this pen, and I make it usable in a different sense, which is giving me more results. So I would be saying, okay, have some innovation. The entrepreneurship is if I have some up and running business in Pakistan, which is very famous, and I bring it here in Ireland. That is my entrepreneurship. I have taken the risk. I have taken the SWOT analysis and a lot of things there. The entrepreneurship there. Okay, so back to the e-commerce there. I'm working in e-commerce for last couple of years there, and I have few projects already up and running. They are working very well. I'm happy with that. Validating my idea things there. There are tons of gaps. Like if we know, for last almost 1 hour time we are sitting here, and then in last 1 hour, how many people have spent money? So more than 1 million has been already spent on online. So Irish people are spending around a million, I mean, days every day, lot of millions every day. So per hour it's about like a billion. Okay, so um, the e-commerce things what we have there, I went through the market. So my e-commerce is mostly with the hospitality business, and I went to 40 of my dream customers. I present them, before presenting my idea. I got their pain. Okay, what pain they have? They have some computers they are using. They are using some technologies. So I was writing down every single thing. I never went to anybody to sell something. Okay, I don't go take my laptop or something. Okay, I want to sell it. Do you want to buy it? Because that is not a marketing. Nobody will buy me if I go to you and tell you, okay, I have some solution. Do you want to buy it for 5,000 euro? No, you won't buy it. But when I add the values, when I take your pain, when I give you something, some relief, and then I say, okay, this is for 10,000 euro, you will take it. So these are some marketing stuff. So I never went to anybody selling anything to them. I went, got their pain, come back. It took me some years. So that's the we had a question: how long should I take to start up or validate my idea? So it took me few years to initially get my first customer. And once I have first customer, the same month I got four other customers. So
Oh,
first get the pain of your customers and give them something, make them hot market for you, and then sell something. जब लोहा गर्म है तो तभी मारो, ये चीज हमने सोचा हुआ है. सुना है, ठीक है? तो ये चीज है.
thank you very much, Anwar. We are getting a loads of questions through Facebook. Before we will go to those questions, I would like to give this floor to Bilal. Bilal would like to share one motivational video and some presentation. So let's learn from Bilal. What are the driving forces and what are his experiences? Bilal, over to you.
Thank you very much, guys. Everybody can hear me, hopefully. I'm Bilal Awan, CEO of Psych Reality and CTO in IPIP IT Services. I'm going to share a few things today. First of all, my two very favorite quotes, and they have stayed with me across my career. So, first quote is: "Success doesn't come from what you do occasionally; it comes from what you do consistently. Whether it's a daily habit or your work routine, everything has to be consistent." Second thing is, a calm sea does not make a skilled sailor, because a sailor will not learn anything in a calmer sea how to handle the situation. Who am I? I'm a serial failure. Quite unusual thing to say, but I'm proud to say this, and I'll explain why. I would like to share this video. Please have a listen, and then we take it from here. And why I'm proud to be a failure.
After being cut from his high school basketball team, he went home, locked himself in his room, and cried. He wasn't able to speak until he was almost 4 years old, and his teachers said he would never amount to much. demoted from her job as a news anchor because she wasn't fit for television. Fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination and having no original ideas. At age 11, he was cut from his team after being diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency, which made him smaller in stature than most kids his age. At 30 years old, he was left devastated and depressed after being unceremoniously removed from the company he started. A high school dropout whose personal struggles with drugs and poverty culminated in an unsuccessful suicide attempt. A teacher told him he was too stupid to learn anything and that he should go into a field where he might succeed by virtue of his pleasant personality. Rejected by Decca recording studios, who said, "We don't like their sound. They have no future in show business." His first book was rejected by 27 publishers. His fiancée died, failed in business, had a nervous breakdown, and was defeated in 8 elections. If you've never failed, you've never tried anything new.
Right, guys. Hopefully, this has given you a bit of boost. And now I'm talking about my journey, which is going to be full of failures. So I started my business in 2011. And to tell you, like Anwar said earlier, that you don't need much money to start your business. I started from my sitting room back in 2011. I spent only €1,000 to buy professional indemnity. It's a kind of insurance which professional services do need. And that was a time when hardly people were doing working from home. I started at that stage with little or no money. I failed in 2012. Then in 2013, I was awarded as Migrant Entrepreneur of the Year in Dublin. Then I was nominated as Top 20 Entrepreneurs by Web Summit in 2014. Then a series of failures throughout the years. That's a different story. How did it happen and why did I not quit? A different thing. And we are going to talk a little bit about why you should not quit. Then my 6 years business partnership broke in 2017. I attended an international summit in Zagreb. So outside Ireland, that was my first step where I started looking into different directions. Again, failure in 2017. I collaborated in Balkans, that region in 2017. That led to another collaboration with a big tech company. Then again, I failed in 2018, failed again in 2019, and a major breakthrough came in partnership in 2019 for the good. Now, what happened in 2018 in between all of these failures? That's me holding an award for the best startup of the year in Dublin for 2018. And that was my tech startup, 412 Business Systems, IT solution company. Again, in 2018, I was awarded for the first time Thought Leader, All Ireland All-Star in IT security. And I was the very first one. And I think still I am the only one who holds All Ireland title for the Thought Leader in IT security. In 2019, few more successful award successes came through. Very happy. 2020, again, I'm accredited for my medtech startup, as mentioned earlier by Nawaz in my intro, that treating phobias and fears using emerging technologies of psych reality. And we formed a partnership and a collaboration with Middle East Psychological Association. That's for that particular startup, and that is for the whole of Middle East under that banner. Along my journey, what did I learn? And I would ask you to pay special attention to these two things. Forget what you have learned back home. When I came to UK, I started working in a computer shop in Surbiton in southwest London, and the owners were from Bulgaria. He asked me to forget everything you have learned back home. And his logic was learn how things are done here in England, in Europe. So you do not carry baggage with you. So you can build yourself according to the environment you are in. Second thing, he told me, you will never become rich overnight. You have to work through. And I don't play lotto, so that's why he said you have no chance of winning lotto anyway because you don't play. So forget that you're going to become rich overnight. I'm still not rich, still working there, but I'm satisfied. I'm at my comfort level. Now, what I would ask you as a giveaway thing, and remember these things, and people who are listening, I would ask you to please make a note of these 5 points. One, don't be afraid to fail. If those guys earlier in the video, they were failed, they had been afraid of it, and they wouldn't have tried for the second or third or fourth or fifth or seventh or eighth time, Abraham Lincoln wouldn't have become a president of the United States. Own your mistakes. Whatever you do, raise your hand so you can fix it in more pleasant way rather trying to cover up your mistakes. Now, very important thing, prefer friendship over business. It has many meanings, but the reference I'm making here, you might have seen, you would remember my 6-year partnership broke. That was with an Irish person. And we came to a stage where I did not want to get up from my bed even past 9 o'clock in the morning, sometime 9:30. I did not want to pick up his phone calls. So we sat down, we said, listen, I'm not going to name him. I said, listen, we better keep our friendship and let's part our businesses, so we do not lose each other as a friend. Since then, believe me, we have done more business with each other in between our two companies than what we might have done as a business partner. So always consider friendship over business. Everybody must have a mentor, and somebody might think, or the question might arise, especially in our young generation, we are not very patient. We want to hop on to every next thing, whatever fascinates us, or if something is motivating, or if you have heard somewhere, so we just move on to next step. No, you must find one mentor and stick to that person who has the knowledge and experience. You would know one of the big corporations in the world, Walmart. Every single member of their family has a mentor assigned to them. And the reason is all the family members to keep their feet on the ground, they're not to fly up high, and they treat people with respect, dignity, and the family members to be focused on the business. Now, very, very, very important thing is share the joy, share the success, respect who helped you along the ways. Always have them tagged along. Keep them tagged to you. Wherever you go, have their back. And I'm very happy to say I have two friends, Farhan and Mark. They have been with me through thick and thin all the way, and they have stuck with me, rather myself sticking with them. So it was a respect, mutual respect, and trust into each other. If they say, Bilal, you don't have to do these things, regardless if I have that experience of 10, 15 years, I will not do it. And if I convince them, Mark, Farhan, I see this thing in a different way, so they respect my decision, I respect their decision, is a reciprocal. You must share the joy and must not forget people who have helped you in your difficult days. That's me, Bilal Awan from Psych Reality. Open for questions.
Thank you very much, Lord Bhai. This is very motivational and with loads of informations. Uh, We have a lot of questions. I would like to ask. First question is, you got a loads of experience. So what are the do not count in business you learned in your journey? So you have shared couple of them, but I really want to reiterate, 'cause just to emphasize, is this is something is we always do these mistakes. So can you throw some light
Never. Thank
more
you.
on this
Thanks for
one?
your kind comments, Nawaz. Never say never. If there is an opportunity, you must grab it. Look at pros and cons. If you have done that thing before and it had failed, which means that particular way was not the right way for you to do it. It does not mean that will not be done in any other way. Things will be done in one way or the other. So you need to find that way. So never say never and keep open for the opportunity. And one very important thing which I have a motto for me is never take anybody as a competition to yourself. Nobody is your competitor. Everybody
Wow.
is a collaborative opportunity for you. I personally work with other IT companies. Both companies, three companies actually, completely do the same thing. And if times come, we three would be putting the same quotation to a same potential customer. But we work each other, we complement each other. As Anwar said, nobody is perfect and nobody can do everything. We can complement each other.
Well, well saying. Anwar, I'm struggling to identify. I have a product. I build it, but I'm not satisfied. I keep working on that one. So my question is, what is the importance to building a product which will be accepted in the market? In other terms, you say that MVP, a minimum viable product. So I can sit in front of client with confidence and then I can improvise it later on. So what are the parameters I should be considering?
Thanks, Nawaz. Technically, you have already answered the question when you started that I have a product, I made it, and I'm not satisfied it. So this is the importance of having a minimum viable product. No, I have a business idea. I have a very unique product with me in idea, and then I
Mhm.
have my dream customers. Now I have to deliver that idea to them, that product to them. I won't sit home and hire a team and develop everything and then go to them. Okay, this is ready to cook and can you use it? No, they won't use it. So I have to develop like a minimum product, like so which can deliver the maximum functionality or which can solve the problem. So that's the main thing. Like as a customer, what jobs I want to do, if your product is delivering it, I'm happy, I'll take it. So I'm your early adopter. So I would say it is very very important that you start with the small thing, have something which can deliver what a customer needs, and that is very important. So rather than I spend my thousands of euros, my team resources, everything, and then at the end I come to the same answer, it's not working. So it's important to have something with us at the very early start stages.
Bilal bhai, you want to add on into this question?
Um, the question is MVP. You must start validating the product with your own family. They
Okay.
are the most criticizing people. I would extend to your extended family members. I mean, everybody has some. So they are productive criticizing. It's up to you to take it because what they are saying, you're not going to get rid of those relatives. But what you can do is take their feedback, which might be asked, or at least somebody can think in the general public of the same thing. You better answer them. Your relatives, your close family members will say to you, other people will not say to you. So
Well,
that's why go to your family members, friends. They will be most honest people to give you feedback. Take it, put it on your belt, and move on.
Um, can I ask a question from Bilal Bhai?
Yes, please.
Yeah, like when we're talking about the startup, right? So I have a business idea. So how do I convert my business idea to a startup? Okay, so for the benefits of the community, so how do I convert my business idea into a startup?
I mentioned the importance of a mentor. Get a
Mhm.
mentor from an early stage, because I'm not here because of me. You're not here because of you. Let's face the reality. Bill Gates is not where he is because of himself. Everybody has mentors, right? When you have an idea, speak to people who know about it, who are into business, get a mentorship classes, right? Learn. There is one very famous book called The E-Myth by Michael Gerber. What he says that that's about whether you are an entrepreneur, being an accidental entrepreneur or a serial entrepreneur. We all face similar situations, and especially the startups and new business owners. We all, especially coming from the techie background or mechanical or anything, when we are doing a job, when we are working, everybody would have heard they are saying, oh, you're very good at it, you must start your own business, this business runs because of you, if you're not here this business will collapse. That's very common feedback we get. So when we start our own business, then we realize we are not the only techie person anymore. We are not only answering the phone and solving the problem. We have to look after customers. We have to look after sales. We have to look after the marketing. We have to look after the bills. We have to look after the leads. When you get into that one, you need to start dedicating roles. You need to start trusting people. You need to start freeing up yourself. And one key point, maybe Nawaz, if you can make this one as a banner. If within 2 years you are not working on the business, and if you're still working in the business, you need to go back to the drawing board. By 2 years, you must be working on the business. Means you can go and play a game of golf on Friday afternoon when you feel like it. Not like you're on holidays, much earned, you never had a holiday in 2 years' time, but when you go on holidays, you cannot spare a minute answering the phone calls. So make a plan for 2 years, break it down into 1 year, break it down to 6 months, break it down to 3 months, break it down to 1 month, break it down to 4 weeks, 1 week, and a daily routine. If you're falling behind your daily routine, you are going to be left behind for your yearly target. That's how you plan yourself.
That's fine. So just add a few more things on it. So the thing you're saying, like you have to do work on the business, that's 100% correct. So if you start a business, in the start, you do most of your operation works. So after some times, you have to get out of this operation works. You have to go in the research and development and making the contact with the customer or getting the new business. If you are just stuck in operation things, day-to-day work, you are not a good businessman. You have to move out and think about out of the box, like what your business is doing, how you can improve your business, how can you grow it, go to meet the customers, get their feedback, get new ideas, try to implement the new ideas in the business. That's the key point is, because normally most of the business guys which we're doing nowadays, you see, like they are just stuck in day-to-day work, like 9 to 5, they are just doing what the answering the phone call or just looking after the business. They are not building the business anymore. So the key point is you have to get out the daily routine work. You have to think more about how you get grow in the business, where you can do something else on the business, so you get more benefit or you get more business to your. The other thing is, in the part of the main thing is you have to write something, a business plan, and you have to stick to it. Like what's your business plan or your model is. So you have to stick to the same model, and then don't get you have to get motivated. So the mentor is a person who can stick you to your business model. Like you in the start, you're thinking you have to do this thing, and he will motivate you and he will give you the directions to get intact with what your business model is.
Can I add something into that one? That's absolutely correct. You must stick to it, and you must start reading about other people's failures. You don't need to go through yourself doing the same mistake. Learn how things were done previously, and just do not repeat them. So learn from other people's mistake and never give up.
Yeah, one thing, if I can add here, like when I was asking question, I intentionally try to add something there that, okay, I know it. How do I do it? And I'm asking someone. So this is something I need to remove from my thing, that when I'm asking somebody, and when I have my mentor, when I know the market there, that, oh, I know this thing. Can you tell me how do I improve it? I know this thing. So, I mean, when I'm asking somebody, if I keep adding that, oh, I know it, it means I don't know it. That's why I'm asking. So, I mean, because when I meet a lot of my customers there, some of them, they say, okay, I know it. Can you do this one? And then that, what it does, it increase my bills. And that's good for me. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you. So we talk a lot of things about how to start business, how to validate the ideas. Now, the main thing after everyone asks is that, okay, I have the idea, I want to do work, but the main thing I'm stuck to is the capital or the business. Like, if I have no money, what I can do, and what I have the option to get the funding for starting a business. So, Nawaz, can you tell us something about that one?
Musfa, thank you very much. This is very interesting question. Uh, वो कहते हैं ना कि यार बातें तो सबको आती है, पैसा दोगे तो फिर होगा. But we are living in different world. Ireland is a land of opportunities. I always think Ireland is a country where anything in especially in IT sector is launched in this world. It might be researched, developed, or distributed from this land. If you count IT industries, they are ranging from 20 employees to 8,000 employees. One building like a chicken farm, like 400 developers are sitting in one building and they are just like writing the code all the time. So, but for us, how we can take this opportunity and we can improve it. So I will say the first thing what Balal and Anwar and everyone is saying, I don't have money, but I have idea and I believe on that idea. So how can I just boost my idea or I can make it as a business? So first thing is, as everyone agreed, we need to talk to someone. Try to find some mentor. Talk to a mentor. Ask him the questions. Do some market research. You have idea, but you really want to see is this idea is viable in within Ireland, is viable in UK. So there are loads of universities. They have their statistical data. They have their online business databases or government agencies. Try to get some data. Is this is just like you are going to validate your idea or your target audience. And the second thing is you need to identify is I don't have money, but how much money you need. So try to identify the needs you need to start that idea. So quantify that. And once you know that one, I have this target market. I need a say 50,000 or 100,000 or 500,000 money to run that idea. And then just write on a high level some business plan how you will motivate your target investments, enter into a contest, go back to enterprise Ireland, go to county councils, and they are waiting for you. They have a loads of startup opportunities. And then if you are sure, then go outside and look for investors. And there are loads of investors. They are waiting a young blood. They are waiting some innovative ideas. They have money on their table, but they are waiting someone with energy, someone can execute, someone can work 24 by 7 and can raise their money to double or two times or three times. So this is not if something is not possible, this is a possible area. But there are only, I will say, the 5 steps again. One is find a mentor. Second one is do a market research. Third one is determine how much money you need. Try to enter into some sort of the competition and look for the investment. And you will be surprised, the community and the businesses are waiting for you. I would like to add another thing. iPIP has loads of innovative guys. They're working hard. We have formed a small group. We call it a startup, where we always looking for some sort of the opportunity where we can create a startup, and we are planning to create a startup by summer 2021. If you have any idea and you are feeling that I cannot do myself, I need a partners, and I need some sort of the mentoring, I need some sort of the help, or I just want to discuss. So come into IPIP community, and we are here to help you. Thank you, Mustafa. So I would like to choose a little bit more nail down in a special question for Bilal Bhai. This is a great learning for every one of us. Bilal Bhai, what you will advise to businesses if they want to start again? Last year I started an idea, I failed, but I still feel I can do. So what you will advise to us?
What I would advise is only look at search on the Google or YouTube famous failures. Keep watching them. Never give up. Go at it again and again and again and again.
Very good. Guys, I have a loads of questions from Facebook. I'm going to share the question. So this is a open plan. So any one of you if wants to answer, so please start. I have a one question. I'm going to share it. This question is there any generic formula to check validate my idea? So this question is I don't understand name Mohammed AD. So
We have discussed this one. To validate the idea, go back to your family and to your teachers.
very good.
Simplest thing, and they will be the honest people. Because if you go into the market, they will falsely be giving your feedback. Your family members will be giving you truthful feedback. So take it on board.
Very good. I have another question from one of our innovative, Asan Lahi. So he's saying great effort to IPIP. I have a question about funding. What are the options available for an individual to tap for funding to validate their idea?
You don't need funding to validate your idea. If you think it's right, it's you who need to validate your idea. You need to be the strong and firm believer of your own idea. Then you'll be able to sell to somebody else, likes of investors. So the options, there is no particular set rule or formula to validate fundings for the idea validation. No, just be to yourself. And if you're looking for funding, I saw there was another question about funding. When people or startups talks about fundings, US is the fastest place for startups to get funding. And many people might not know the average number of pitches a US-based startup gives to investor is 48 before they get the fund, before any investors can invest in them. And the time in the US averaged about 6 to 8 months for a startup to get fund for the first time. Anywhere else, especially in Ireland or in different parts, that goes up to 12 to 18 months before you could get a funding from an investor. And you can do the multiplier of those 48 pitches, which you would have done in the US. In the other parts of the world, there could be 100, 120, 140. So just again, be at it. Don't be disheartened. Keep doing it. You have always.
Just to add,
Yes.
Just to add quickly thing, the funding is not is a startup for the startup thing. Is the major thing is your idea and how it's validated and how much the idea is unique to the guys. If you have a very good idea, the investor easily give you funding or they give you invested. So before they go to the funding part, you have to do all your homework, like your business model. You have to do some all market research. Everything is done. Then you say, okay, then I'll go to the funding part of it, which is come very late in the end of what your thinking is. So just think about what your product is, what your idea is, just validate it, just go on thing and make it purified so you can get to sell this idea to someone else.
True. I mean, the bigger idea needs to be summarized in 40 to 50 words, because that's all the time what investors have for you before they become interested. So you have to be working very hard. Again, an importance of a mentor comes here, where you need to have somebody who can summarize 40-50 page business plan into 40-50 words. That attracts the investor. Then they will ask for further questions. Do not be jumping ahead of the guns by providing everything in the first go. No, first you need to get the attention of an investor by making yourself unique.
I
And
would
yes,
I would like to just enhance what everyone is saying. I'm going to share a screen, and I'm just going to give you a one tip just to summarize your idea. Let me share my screen. Uh, can you guys see my screen?
Yes, it's shared.
So lean canvas. This is what we are using as of today in actual commercial industry. Every project, whether it is funded by the company, whether it is you are funding yourself, you are going to run through some sort of the documents. So I'm just going to give you the name. The name is Lean Canvas. It's widely available on the net, and it's a one pager where you're going to identify the problem, you're going to identify the solution, what is the unique proposition you are going to propose, and unfair advantages. What are the customer segmentation you are targeting? Is there any existing alternatives? What are the key metrics? How you are going to gauge your progress? High level concept. What are the channels to launch your product? Early adopters. So what will be the cost structure and what are your revenue structure? I will advise if anyone is thinking to just dive into a startup or have an idea, they just want to validate, go and just get lean canvas, and these templates are available on the net. It's a one pager. Write down and then start discussing with your community, and you will be surprised. This is like we used to had a 45 pages, a 50 pages, 100 pages document. Now this is a new template. You can conclude and you can discuss and present to anyone. I'm going to stop sharing on this one. Uh, just continue to the Facebook question. I have two more questions. I'm going to share that question, guys. This is from Ikram Niazi. His question is how to create innovation culture in startup, and how about startup on app product as open innovation? What are the pros and cons of open innovation? I know Ikram Bhai had asked loads of questions, so let's give him some answers from our own experiences.
okay. Can I answer this question? And I think we are running out of time as well, so I'll try to be brief here.
Mhm.
Uh, Culture in the startup of innovation must welcome all team members' ideas, let them be part of the journey, whether they are stakeholder or not. Let them be felt part of this team,
Mhm.
add their ideas, and not to be shy of adding their ideas to amend your overall plan. If it is a good thing, add it. Just be welcoming to everybody's ideas. Be open-minded, accepting, because always remember, we were given an opportunity at some stage in our lives. If we are at a stage, we have a startup or we have a business or we have an option or a platform, we must give that opportunity to somebody else. Always do good, it will come back to you in a good way.
Okay, I have another question, guys. We are very busy in Facebook, and it looks like you are attracting. Ahmed Abdul Wakil, question is, would you start with the local startup funding available, use your own savings or borrow from the banks?
Okay, quickly again to this answer. The quick answer for the first part is grab the money wherever you can. Right, that's the first thing. Second thing is, if you go to bank, do not build a liability. Do not, because whether you are successful in 3 months or 3 years, bank has a liability that will affect you. Try avoid bank by all means. Then when you go to investors, what they look at is how much stake you have put in yourself. So use your own money, right? That shows the seriousness to investors, how much money you have put in, whether it's in a kind of services you have provided, how much your time would have costed if you have spent that time somewhere else. Do a calculation, value yourself. If you are spending 40 hours a week or 20 hours a week, how much you worth, put that money, because that is a value you are adding in. That's how your investment is going into the business. Go to the different grants rather going to the loans or investments. Try looking at grants first, because grants is kind of a free money. So try avoid banks, I would say. Borrow from family or wherever you can, where you don't have to pay within a short time frame. You have a longer time frame and you don't have to incur huge amount of interest or bank liabilities. That would be my take. Everybody else is welcome to have their input.
Nawaz bhai, here, like two things here. So first, we're talking about the startup like culture. I have three people in my team, myself four. My junior developer who is front end, I have always him on the center stage. The reason is whatever we develop, it goes to him, and he's a front end designer. So always have the shared vision within your team. This is the best culture you can develop there. So shared vision in your team. And the second part about the startup there, like funding. So I can tell, okay, I'm a startup. I have a software in the market. I have four paying customers. I did not get any funding. I did not get any investment. I did not even need it. So first, look at the resources you have within you, your team members, what expertise you have there. Bring them together, shared value, shared vision, and then maybe you don't even need a money. When you get money, like I said, you become you have a lot of liabilities. So avoid liabilities. That's the problem. So avoid them. That would be my input.
Okay, this is another quick question from Zahid. What are the parameters to know an idea is valid or not? Wow, we have discussed this one.
Do you know, Zahid, yourself, if your idea is valid or not? Do you have faith and trust in your own idea? If you have a faith and trust in your own idea, everybody else will follow you.
So first, trust to yourself. Ahsan Bhai again asked this question. Entrepreneurship is a comprehensive area of learning. How much skills one must have to become an entrepreneur?
None.
None.
None. Gustavo
It's
Bhai,
your thoughts, what you're thinking, the way you're thinking. That's your entrepreneurship. If
Mentors,
you,
mentors and world leaders will teach you. Listen to them. Listen
so
to their
yeah,
audio books or read their books and their stories. They will teach you.
Yeah, look at IKEA's founder, Alibaba's founder, what skills they have. Look at the big techs right now. Look at their skills, what they had, and then maybe there is answer.
I will say, look at Malk Riaz. Education he has, and everyone
Different
wants
level
to
of
get
skills.
everyone wants to get property on his area. No, this is whatever he has a success story.
And you know what about Malik Riaz? Despite everything else, one skill I must say that I admire. He has a skill to sell. That's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And he has a faith and trust in himself
Mhm.
that
Yes.
he can sell it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think is this is very interesting question, especially from Hassan Bhai. Is this is is a will and trust on yourself. If you are feeling, yes, like I have another different theme of entrepreneurship or any product or any idea. If you are feeling you are making others' life easy, that idea is valid. It could be a software, it could be a building, it could be selling a product or selling a service. As much as you are making others' life easy, that product or that idea is valid. So if you go back to the all the this like a Facebook and YouTube, they're making our life easy, and what they're getting back is we can't count. So thank you very much, guys. This is very interesting and very informative uh, exercise. We really want to involve in this more, and this is not only the last one. We will arrange or organize more webinar and fireside chat on this one. If any one of you has an idea or would like to contribute, come forward. We are here to help, to listen, and to get some sort of the sense from your experiences. Again, I would like to iterate, IPIP is an open access platform for Irish Pakistani ICT professionals. If you are an Irish Pakistani IT professional and wish to support this idea, please get in touch with us and do join in. Share your ideas with us. Help us to refine these ideas and join us to practically deliver these aims and objectives. Finally, IPIP is an open access platform for Irish Pakistani ICT professionals. It is arranged, organized by ICT professionals, supported and managed by ICT professionals. So hopefully you had enjoyed this webinar, and we are looking forward to hear your comments, and our great panelists, they will be able to answer even on Facebook or on YouTube. And I am going to say thanks again, especially to Anwar Bhai, Mustafa Bhai, and Bilal Bhai. You have given us a loads of valuable advices, and hopefully it will be helpful for the community. Thank you very much, and Pakistan Zindabad. Allah Hafiz.